We're live.
Right.
It's live.
We're live.
Yay!
Yay.
Hello, everyone on Facebook, and I think we're on YouTube. Is the latest I've heard. Yeah.
Oh, we're on YouTube. All right, I gotta button some other thing
so
up.
get your YouTube look on. Just wait. Just look out. Look at YouTube. Different looks.
We won't do our Tinder look.
No. Why? I mean, let's go out there too. Come on.
Oh, true. Okay, cool. All right, unbutton one.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, people are saying hi to us.
Hey, Jasna.
Hey.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Anna.
This is so cool with the things coming up. I haven't experienced.
It is. I know. We'll do this all day.
Yeah.
Emily.
Write funny stuff in there and we'll comment on it. Okay.
So welcome, everyone. We have a very special live today with all these amazing people, and it's all about this amazing book. Here's my copy. It's very old. I've had it for, I think, since it came out, so I don't know how long that is, like 10 years or something, maybe? I don't know. Does anyone remember?
Yeah, like maybe 11.
Okay, so
It's 2011.
It's old, it is highlighted, it's wonderful. So we have a little thing going on if you guys haven't seen it. And it's, do I have an echo? Because I'm being bad and not wearing headphones.
I know, I am too.
Oh man. Okay, well we'll keep going. We'll try
You sound great, Megan. Keep going.
All right. So we have a contest going on out in the world if you haven't seen it. And it's called If You Could Write Any Chapter in This Book, Being You Changing the World by Dr. Dane here. See that face? Isn't it so pretty? His eyes follow you no matter where the book is. Brett's got it too.
We're all doing this.
Woo! If you're wondering where the live is going, we don't know either. So just roll with us. So the question, the ask is, if you could write any chapter in this book, what would it be and what would you name the title of it? You don't have to write the chapter, but we're just going to talk about what that would be for these people here today. So the ask, and Lauren just put it in the chat. If you want to tell this story after you watch this, or if you've already done it, you just take a picture, make a video, do something creative, whatever you want to do, and use the hashtag #MyBeingYouChapter. So I have some amazing people, as you can see here, and we're going to start with them. So have you guys been pondering this lately, this amazing question? I know that a few of you, like Sarah, you put something up the other day that was brilliant.
I did.
I love Sarah's. I say she goes first.
I'm going to start with Sarah's because I laughed hysterically when I saw it.
So my Being You chapter that I posted is donkey or dragon, you choose. So the awareness was how many of us have been walking around like jackasses. Can I say that? With not using our awareness, not asking questions. And the fun of the Being You book is actually that it opens up more space for you to be you and be the dragon you truly be that can take on anything with all of your awareness. And you can stop being a jackass if you want.
I like it. So hashtag stop being a jackass.
And I think like being a jackass, it's not necessarily, well, for me, when I think about that, I'm like the places where I know I'm being stupid and I haven't necessarily changed them yet, or the places where I used to kind of choose things repeatedly. And it's like, wow, there is actually another option. And most of the time it involves like being more present in a situation or being more of me. Because I love that phrase that Dane has is like, you're not as fucked up as you think you are. It's like oftentimes the things that are either not working in our lives or feel really kind of messed up. It's because it's like, you're being someone else. It's not necessarily fully you, fully there.
Agreed.
Because I was frozen. So I heard it back.
Georgia, you can write in my chapter.
Thanks. Co-authored.
I like it. You know, though, I will say a lot of the I know I want to hear everybody else's stuff, but just to catch on the front of the live, a lot of people, I did a video, have been just writing the hashtag in my post. That's not how you enter. Just don't do that. Make your own chapter. Also, you don't have to write the chapter. So those of you who've been working on your chapter, curating it so that you can enter the contest, you can stop now. Save your beautiful content for something, but you just need to name the chapter in your own post and use the hashtag just to clear that up. I just wanted everybody to know.
Yes.
This isn't a book report, basically.
Right.
No,
You don't
but
have to feel obligated to write an essay.
we love the creativity.
Yes. And when you send it in, we won't go, sorry, you did not get the prompt. This wasn't what we asked.
You're not going to be graded. It's not going to be like an A minus, B plus, A plus plus plus. It might be that.
Or a big S. You're not going to fail.
Or a B for being.
You definitely can't get it wrong either. So, so who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I totally did the assignment wrong. I thought it meant like writing, like doing your own, like rewriting a chapter that's in the book.
Okay, so we are having this Facebook Live for you, Brett. This is an intervention. We noticed we're spending a lot of time and effort on your contest, and this is all for you.
You win.
I've actually rewritten the entire book.
You're the winner.
A lot better.
Yeah, you win.
You won.
All right. What I've been looking at is like the chapter on like what if you chose your parents? Because like one of the big things for me that I've felt like so stuck with for so long has been the whole family thing, the whole parents thing, and it's like, because it's like, what if we didn't have to like limit ourselves for these people in our lives? What if we didn't have to try not to disappoint them? Like what if we could actually create our lives in ways that actually work for us, no matter if it works for other people or not? And that's not to say, but also on the other end, a lot of times what people do is like, and I've never done this ever, is you go to the other end and you're like, screw you, I'm creating my own life. And you just fight against what you grew up with or what, your parents showed you. And has that ever really created that sense of space and freedom that's actually possible? Usually, I mean, I found that did not create the sense of freedom and space for me. It was just a constant fight and struggle. And then I would start doing the things that my parents did or said about me, and then always have to fight against that and try to out-create it or not do it or do something different. But it always ended in a fight and a struggle and not just being more of me.
I love that. And I love in the book, he talks about how you chose your parents, which is a totally different way of looking at it. You didn't get stuck with them. You didn't get kidnapped or anything like that. Every single thing you chose. So what's the gift in that? And what did you know you were creating when you chose that? And if you have children, recognize another thing, they chose you. That's awesome. So, Heather, do you want to go next?
Sure. I would say being you is the ultimate creation hack. It's like, and I could say a lot about the children thing too. I was like, oh, well, there's a whole world there too. But I facilitate a lot of Joy Business classes, and I love playing with creation and creating, and for so many years I've had my own business for over 20 years, and in the beginning it was like I was always looking at like who could tell me how to do it right, who could tell me what to do so that I could do it right, so that I could get it right, so that I could succeed or whatever. And that never worked. And it was always so frustrating and annoying and boring. And when I started playing with these tools, the Being You and just Access in general and Joy Business, it was like, wow, you mean if I be me in my business and with what I'm creating in the world, then it actually just works better. And I just thought, like, as soon as I started choosing that, it's like my whole life just has continued to explode ever since. And it's, nobody tells us as kids, hey, you know what you need to know about what you would like to create. It's like, if there's something that you would like to create in your life, whether it's business or something else, it's like you actually have awareness of what is required to create that. And it's almost like the desire to, like, the awareness that something is possible to create kind of automatically comes with the awareness of what is required to create it. But we're never told that, and it's like when you get out of like looking around you for someone to tell you how or whatever, and you get into the space of being you and all these amazing tools in this book, it's like, it's just game on, and it's so much fun. It's just so much easier and so much more fun than doing it somebody else's way.
Yeah, did you guys ever get to a moment in either reading the book or at a Being You class or something like that where you're like, I know for me, all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, whose life am I living?
Yeah.
If I was truly being me, I'm not sure that I would have chosen all of this way. And then it was like, holy shit, I looked at what you were supposed to create and was like, oh, if you're going to be a good person, this is what you create. And I set out to create that, and I did a very good job.
Yeah.
But then you're like, wait a minute, I'm not happy. So what's happening?
That was a huge thing for me as a parent too, like really trying to do it the right way and hating it. Like I really hated being a mom when I was doing it like that.
Yeah.
And that whole thing of like, it's like you chose your parents, and like you said, Megan, your kids chose you. And I was like, oh, I hate cooking, period. Like I hate cooking dinner. My kids chose me. Oh, yay. I don't have to like try to force myself to make a big dinner every night or whatever, like these little things. But there's so many places where we can judge ourselves, and where we do judge ourselves as parents, as whatever, and then when you go, oh wait, this is actually, it's just always going to work better when you're being you. It's the most pragmatic thing you can choose.
Yeah. So one of the questions you can ask if you guys are, like, oh my God, how do I do that? Just ask, if I was being me here, what would I choose? So if you're with your parents, if you're in a relationship, whatever, if I was actually truly being me here, what would I choose? And then when you're not being that, ask, who am I being? Because sometimes I know, like as a parent, I will literally hear myself sound like my parents, and I'm like, hang on, time out, rewind, let's try this again. I love that.
Yeah.
So there's lots of hashtags and things that I keep seeing popping up. So just to reiterate, if you're catching this, there is a contest going on. You have like 24 more hours, I think. So if you're watching this, you're like, oh my God, you can still enter. All that you have to do is make a video, make a picture, write a title even just in your Facebook post, and hashtag it My Being You Chapter. That enters you into the contest, and there is a group of us that will go through and pick based on how many likes and shares and the creativity of it. And the grand prize is a ticket to the entire Being You class coming up with Dane, starting on Friday. And then the two other prizes are 2 tickets to the evening intro that's starting in the morning in Houston. So it's backwards. Don't even try and figure that one out. Starts Friday morning, 9:30 Houston time. So lots of links there that you can check out. Lauren Marie is posting all the rules there, and she's amazing. Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah.
That was my little halftime commercial. There we go. Okay, Becky, do you want to go? Or Georgia, did you go? Because I was frozen. So were you just commenting? Okay, good.
I'll go next. Do you mind, Georgia?
I would love to hear yours, Becky.
Oh my goodness. Well, like I was like a total humanoid. I was like, well, I could have this and I can have that. And then I seen Sarah's, and then I was like, That was pretty brilliant.
Sarah stole my idea. It's really good.
But you know, can I say this though? That's a great thing to bring up because how many of us are trying to be us by comparing ourselves to everyone else to try to find ourselves, right? And so much of the clunkiness of creation is looking out and trying to find you in other people's creations. When you put it that way, it's hilarious that we even do it.
Yeah.
But when we start to look at what being you is and what it creates, it's really like what you're about to do, I'm sure, is tell us what you came up with that was light and true for you and how much ease you had when you chose to do it that way.
Yes. Yes. Well, okay. Yeah. Totally.
Like, no, I just wanted yours.
I did just want yours.
One thing I want to say though, can I interrupt you one more time? I'm sorry, and you can just shoot me later. But when Brett was like delivering a whole freaking class right now with his topic, I was like, oh, and I went with humor. Like, oh shoot, like, you know what I mean? But I was like, no, wait a minute, I was being me, and I had to go to the tool to not sit here and be like, you know. And then you pop in and are like, oh, but Sarah stole my idea because it's so funny what we do. We're trained to it, but these tools don't mean that you never ever have to compare yourself again. It's that you have a tool when you're in that moment and you can acknowledge when you're doing it, and it's not autopilot into comparison land like we were brought up to live like, you know.
Yeah.
Totally.
No,
And
that's great.
I'll shut up.
Please don't shut up. And it actually kind of goes with what I've been looking at lately is that this like chameleon thing. And so ever since I've been little, like my chapter would be that I had a capacity to like hang out with everybody and actually then have fun with them. And it, you know, back when I was young, like it was a huge wrongness because then I was fake. And so, you know, when I'm looking at it now, really like the being me and like the capacity like that is to be able to even almost energetically like Barbara popping, you know, like because people fascinate me. So I'm like, oh, hey, I'm having fun over here. And then like the next day I'm like, hey guys, and having fun over there. And it would make a lot of people upset, you know, because they want you to be over here and hang out with them doing what they're doing. And when you're different and able to just have fun hopping around, it was pretty interesting for me. And, you know, really diving into the being you, like, that's actually a capacity to be able to, one, be way too much for people because I like could hang out and do anything and have fun. You know, like whoever was having fun, like that's where I was going. Mm-hmm. And it actually took me a while to really let go of all that of like, well, that's fake, you know, like, or, you know, people look at that differently. And then I'm like, hell no, like that's a capacity. That's a capacity to have fun and hang out with a lot of cool people.
Yeah. And I love how like not predictable that makes you. It's like sometimes I think people get frustrated because they're like, wait, but Becky was this yesterday. How come Becky can't be this? That's something different today. But then it's like, if you can be all of those things, it's like you have so much more to choose from. And I love how, Becky, how you're talking about following the fun. And, you know, it's like almost like we're trained in this idea that it's like we're supposed to value what's serious and like what's significant and kind of like feels more real. But it's like we don't really until for me, like being more around like being you changing the world in access classes, I didn't realize that actually it's okay to have fun and be light, and it doesn't make me a better person or doesn't make me more right or anything, or it doesn't make things more true just because they feel like more serious.
Yeah, thank you.
Consistent, you know. Yeah. You weren't that yesterday. Why are you being that today?
Yeah. Naughty girl. Becky's so naughty.
I am pretty naughty too.
I know.
Yeah. Or that people say like if you're like that you're lost and you don't know who you are. It's like, no, you're a constant question of who am I today?
Wow. That's like 10-second increments.
Yeah. And that's been so, you know, how many of like everyone's like, find out who you are. By an adult, make sure you stay that way. Why? Yeah.
Yeah.
You change. Like it's funny you saying that, Becky, because you changed the way that you look a lot too. Mm-hmm. You know, like you don't have one look on the outside. So you could just drive people crazy with it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that chapter.
Whew. This is fun.
Miss Georgia, have you been rewriting the book as well, or?
I didn't rewrite this one. This is so the chapter that I have is what if you're way funnier than anyone ever got, including you? And when I grew up, like, I didn't think I was funny. Like, when people would laugh near me, I thought they were laughing at me, and I think they actually were, because I never like got the joke, and I never but I always seemed to see things in a different way from other people, and I didn't actually get that was actually humorous, and that the differences of how we see the world are actually what makes this world a really rich place and can actually bring out the humor. So today I was in an Access class. Gary Douglas said, make fun of the most serious stuff you can, because if you make fun of the serious, nothing will be that serious to you ever again. And I used to be just like such a serious person. And right along the way in these classes, it's just allowing my life to be as funny as it really is has just been one of the biggest gifts that Access Consciousness has given me. And I'm just so grateful to like allow that humor in my life. And when people are laughing around me, and when I say something, like, to not have to worry that what I said is actually like that I'm being bullied, I guess, because I was bullied a whole lot. And when you're actually willing to kind of like flip the situation and take charge and use humor in this weird kind of way that you're not worried about it, but you actually start to shape what's going on around you, it can be a really, really fun adventure to be around people. And if you would have told me that I would have said that sentence like 10 years ago, I'd have been like, you are insane. I don't get people. I don't like being around them. Can I just hide now? And I'm not like that anymore.
No, you're a lot of fun.
Thanks, Becky.
George, do you remember when you started seeing people as cartoon characters?
Yeah. It was like, was that like an assignment in a class or something? Where did that come about?
I think so. It was definitely in an Access class where.
Yeah. It was like, so this assignment thing was like, look at somebody in your life that you're kind of having a hard time with right now. Somebody that it's like, maybe you've got some kind of sticky situation, or maybe you've always had something kind of under the surface that hasn't really worked. And if you kind of look through in your memories and like things that you've seen on TV or movies, pick out an animated character that they actually are. And then you just see them as that character, and it starts to bring this kind of levity. Well, it's like, well, wait a second, that's actually kind of funny. And then you see them doing that thing, or you having that like tension with an animated cartoon character, or them just like dancing in the corner being so that. And then it just like, it sort of breaks it. It's like, wow, if you could laugh about something, you can't actually be in judgment of it at the same time.
I love that. Also, if you are having a hard time with yourself, maybe putting yourself as the cartoon character.
Yeah, which cartoon character am I being right now?
Might take yourself less seriously, you know?
And it doesn't have to be just one. It's not like, you know, Lord of the Rings, one ring to rule them all. It's like sometimes you can be, all sorts of different characters. Yeah.
I love that. So we have a few minutes left, and I just, we're all here really basically because we're really excited about the Being You class coming up, which this book was written based on a lot of classes that have this ESB energy that Dane here has. And it's very different. Like, people are like, what's it going to be like? What do you get? Do you get a manual? Nope, you don't have anything. There's no class that's ever the same. You show up, and the magic that gets created with all of the people that choose it, you guys go on this ride together. And I don't know about you guys, but I was thinking, because we were doing this, I was thinking about the Being You classes. And I remember when they first started, I was kind of like, oh, it's an intro class, so, I'd rather go to like an advanced class or something. But now over the years, every single class I go to that's a Being You class, I mean, all of them changed my life, but the Being You classes have this really different thing, because it's like, it might be someone who just saw this Facebook Live and was like, I'm going for it. It might be someone who's been using Access tools for 20 years. and everyone gets together, and it's like the inspiration of people like, I'm having it, I'm leaping, I'm, having more of me, whatever that is, no matter what it takes. I like cry, I laugh. It's like I have so much fun in them. So I just wanted to ask you guys, what have you gotten out of the Being You classes? Or when people ask you what's it like, what would you say to them? Or what are you looking forward to? You can basically say whatever you want over the next 5 minutes, but I just wanted to talk about the class a little bit.
I would say
I would love to say. Oh, go ahead.
So much more of me, just so much more of me. And the first time I took one of these 3.5-day classes, I had done so many advanced classes in Access. I had been facilitating. It was, years into being a facilitator, and it changed my whole life. And because when you have more of you, and if you've read the book, you probably have a sense of that, but it's like, when you have more of you, you have more of everything. You have more joy, you have more play, you have more creation, you have more connection, you have more ease. You get into allowance of yourself, and then, all these things that people have been talking about here. It's like how you show up in the world. It just becomes like, it's like, it becomes enjoyable being you. And then how the world responds, it doesn't really matter because it's just like, it's a party. Like, it's just fun. It's like, I like being me, I enjoy it. And so now what, now who can I play with? And that's one of the things that this class just delivers in such an amazing way.
And it's like, if you're sitting there, you're wondering, like, how could I possibly, like, if you've got whatever your thing is, or you're just, whatever's going on, or whatever, if it's great and you'd like to have greater. I love when Dane talks about it's like, if you have something going on with money, it's not that you have to do X, Y, and Z. It's that you change the energy of what's actually creating whatever is keeping you stuck. Or maybe you think you have it all and you can't imagine having a greater life, even changing the energy of that so that you can have infinite possibilities. So if you're wondering how, there is no how. It just somehow it all changes with ease. And Dane is this phenomenal orchestrator of it.
Well, the class itself is such this like meandering path, that, like, nobody ever knows, including Dane, where we're going to go. You know, it's like, hi, here we are. Let's go. I wonder what we're going to create. I wonder where we're going to explore,
Yeah.
So
it's amazing what consciousness creates with you and your choice and your class and what you're asking for. It's like the first Being You class I went to, I was on the stream team doing the camera and stuff for the live stream, and Access had just hired this like professional video guy.
Oh God, I remember this one.
Yes, yes. This is my first Being You class.
I have PTSD. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, pocket pod. So this guy comes in and he's trying to do all this very serious video creation stuff because he knew everything about everything. And so he sees me doing the video camera, like laughing, having a good time. And this guy goes into so much judgment of me that like I'm unprofessional and blah blah blah. And Dane had my back so much, so incredibly, and it showed me so much that what is actually valuable is actually being you, not the how you can make everything perfect and professional. And needless to say, very soon after that event, that guy was fired, and I'm still going. So.
You are unprofessionally succeeding in ways that he could never fathom.
Yeah, exactly. Being you, like that. If I were to go to a class and be like, I am going to get this out of class, I would have never thought of that. But it's like, whatever you're asking for, ask for it. And it will be delivered either through this class or another class or anything else in life. It's amazing what can show up when you just simply ask.
I love that story, mainly because that just like sums up, if you're different and you're like a weirdo in this reality, that is what this reality does. It's like, I'm sorry, you're not doing the camera right. You're not doing it serious enough. And you're like, but I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, you know what pops for me, that it was Taste of Being, which is, you know, like the intros to the Being You. And it was the first access class that I ever went to. And I showed up and I thought everybody was crazy because they were laughing so hard, you know, the whole time you walk in. And I'm like, why are these people so happy? And what took place in that class, like there was nothing really that he said. It was nothing, you know, but someone was on stage. He just worked on them. And it was in Denver, actually, Megan. And he hugged this person. And the space that he was with that person, it was like he would have sat there all day if that's what was required. And I was like, I'll have that in my life. Just that, the vulnerability and the way he was with that person. And then I was like, and I would love to be that for somebody too. And so I left that and I was like, I'm going to a COP. Like, how am I doing that? And I was like, oh, I got to take a bars class. And I, you know, me, I was like straight and I was on the fast track. But, you know, there's no words even to speak to, like, this was what was said. And it was just like these moments that were just so, where I haven't experienced that anywhere before. And I knew, I was like, I would like to be that. And can I have that too, please? Yeah.
I love so much that you spoke to the joy, because you stole my answer, and so now I'm like, but like, how much of us, like, this reality does this whole get it right thing, try not to be wrong, and there's so much like the contraction intensity around that, where you always have to stay in judgment of you, and so the joy doesn't really get to seep in all that often. And so when you're looking at even like a lot of the self-improvement type of things that are out there, there's so much about, again, still getting it right. And so what I love about Dane in any class really is the irreverence, the fun, the joy, the play, the reminder that you being you is light. So when you're in all of those energies, you're actually more you than when you're trying to get everything right and so serious and so even, you know, focused and concentrating on all of your choices. Like, I know I used to be like addicted to like the pre-planning of everything is to make sure that like I foresaw every possible problem, every possible pitfall. It never worked, which is funny, like, to look back, like, it never really worked because I still found those things. But now, like, in the playing of being me, there's so much space that when those things come up, it really is, you know, that pebble in my ocean. When I'm being, my computer does weird things. When I'm being that big, being that space of me, it's like, oh, like, I don't have to, you know, go down that rabbit hole to try to figure out what's wrong with me. I can be in the fun, the joy, and the play. And those are the energies that are in the class. So, that's what I'm excited for. And I'm excited. I love just watching, like you said, Megan, like people who just saw this live are going to choose it. And then someone who's been doing Access for 20 years and everybody's like experiences coming together and like collaborating almost and like contributing to new spaces being opened up for everybody. That's one of the things that I like love about being you classes. Yeah. Is that joy and fun.
Yeah. And this is the first Being You Changing the World class that is truly an online global experience. We've streamed classes before, and Access Consciousness during COVID shifted the way that we actually did online classes. So instead of a broadcast where you're like watching a movie even though it's live, these classes now are really interactive online. So we have just enough staff to get the class going and off the ground and broadcast around the world. But the main class is actually in your home and with you. So we see each other. Dane sees you, you see Dane, we're on camera. It's very much like being on a Zoom, and it actually is because it's on Zoom. So if you've been on that before, it's this party where we're all here like facing each other and looking at what we'd like to change and hearing other people's asks about what they would like to change or what's going on in their world, that then starts to contribute to you and ripples out into all these really cool ways. So for me, one of the things I'm really looking forward to is the truly global nature of this class, which is happening for the first time. I would miss it.
Yeah, me too. Cool. Well, like someone pointed out, I think it was Becky, if if you're like, I don't know if I want to do the whole class, you can just do the evening class. It's the intro. It's the first section. And it's like blast off moment. And then you can choose that. And then if you want to keep going and you want to go for the next 3 days, you can do that as well. Or you can just choose now and choose the whole 3.5-day shenanigans. The link is there. It's drdanehere.com/BY online. Lots of languages, lots of people from all over the world are already choosing it. If you want to play with the contest we mentioned, there will be 2 winners selected. We'll be in contact with you online if you are the winner. But yeah, it's happening. It's all happening.
It's happening.
Yeah. Can you feel the buzz? It starts on Friday, so just move a few things around, and we'd love to have you on there. Thank you guys for coming on and inspiring the world with your chapters. I love them all.
Now we get to write the chapters of our futures in our lives.
Yes. Just write as many chapters as you'd like. You don't have to choose just one. There is another Facebook Live with some people, and I can't remember the time, but it's like 12 hours from now, I think. Yeah. And it will be with some people that are on the Europe-friendly time zone. So check that out, tune back in, or you can catch the replay whenever you like on the Access Consciousness Facebook or YouTube page. So thank you all.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Everybody on Facebook and YouTube.